Welcome to For the Love of MSTR, where I talk about how my MSTR stock is doing each week. I'm Mr. Moneybags, and I'm going to state our financial disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. Please trade at your own risk, and you can read our full financial disclaimer in the description of this video. And today I'm going to talk about how my MSTR stock did the week of February 3rd. And I'm also going to give you some Bitcoin news and some MicroStrategy news. And you can use our chapters if you want to skip, to any parts. But we do appreciate anybody who watches all the way to the end. So let's get started. All right, the previous week, Trump said that he's going to pass tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. And investors were nervous about that. And on Sunday, Bitcoin had dipped down to 93,000. I just kept getting alerts on my phone. Bitcoin down, Solana down, XRP down, a whole bunch of crypto stocks just down. But on Monday, Trump was running around talking to the Mexican president, talking to the Canadian prime minister, and they came to some agreement about how they're going to handle the border with immigration, and the flow of drugs going across the border. And they came to an agreement, and Trump decided to pause tariffs for 30 days. So when we get to March, it's going to be some more drama. We'll see what happens. But the stock market news on Monday, the S&P fell 0.8%, the Dow Jones Industrial fell 0.3%, and the Nasdaq lost 1.2%. So stock market finished down on Monday, but MicroStrategy finished off at $347.09. Bitcoin did rise from 93,000 to $101,335, and I was plus $94.20 on my MSTR stock. My total value is $2,658. My July purchase of 2024, I'm plus 94.5%, or plus $1,241. And my November purchase of 2024, I am minus 24%. On Tuesday, Trump said, I'm going to pass an extra 10% tariff on China. And China retaliated back with their own tariffs, but most financial analysts believe that they're using this as a negotiating tool. China's tariffs is stuff that in USA we really don't use that much. So hopefully they can get together and talk it out. We'll see what happens. Trump wants to stop the flow of fentanyl from China to America. We'll see what happens. But Bitcoin dipped down to $98,681. MicroStrategy finished off at $348. This is around the time the market closed. I was plus $9.34, so not much happened on Tuesday. All right, Wednesday, February 5th, Bitcoin finished off at $97,411. And this MicroStrategy also announced earnings on Wednesday. I want to try to have it live for y'all, but I had some technical difficulties. But MicroStrategy, they always miss on earnings. There's nothing new. They did announce in earnings that this will be their last time missing, and I think they believe that because they're going to have the new FASB accounting rule where Bitcoin will count towards their earnings. So we'll see how the next earnings, the next 3 months or so, how that will affect their profit and revenues and their outlook. But on February 5th, I was minus $88, almost $89. On February 6th, minus $86. So back-to-back red days. All right, February 7th was Friday, plus $16.08. So not a big week this week. My total value, $2,508. So I actually went down. It was a down week. My July purchase, I'm plus 83%. My November purchase of last year, minus 28.5%. Bitcoin finished off at $95,927. So Bitcoin actually finished down for the week too. Unless you want to count Sunday, then it was, plus almost 2,000. But if you want to count from Monday, it went from 101,000 to Friday to, almost 96,000. And MicroStrategy finished off at $327.56. And Trump did announce that he was going to pass some more tariffs possibly this coming week. So Monday, Tuesday ish, we're going to be hearing all these financial analysts. They're going to be critiquing Trump's tariffs, extra tariffs. We'll see what happens if he goes talk to the Chinese president, because this is making the stock market bad, or potentially could. They're going to be talking about inflation and how this would impact the economy with these tariffs. So I could see next week being a volatile week. All right, this is a annualized asset performance chart over 4 years, and this is since August 10th, 2020, all the way to February 4th, 2025. And bonds have done negative 5%, real estate 6%, gold 8%, S&P 500 14%, the Magnificent 7 29%, Bitcoin has done 59%, and MSTR 110%. So sometimes, when they run in the ATM, I was like, okay, 110%. You got to remember, even though sometimes MSTR goes down, it's kind of been fluctuating in the same spot. Eventually, it does rip up. When it rips up, it does pretty good. So you got to hold on to it for the long term. All right, this is the strategy versus top performing stocks in the S&P 500. And you got Broadcom doing 579%. Arista Networks 708%. Nvidia 963%. And MicroStrategy, and this is the same date, 2,718%. So it's outperforming the top stocks in the S&P 500. So just remember that. Keep holding on. Not trading advice, but I say, in my opinion, keep holding on for the long term. All right, MSTR is more volatile than any S&P 500 stock, and it's Arista Network 61%, Nvidia 71%. Enphase Energy 84%, Moderna 84%, and you got Strategy or MicroStrategy 89%. So it's a very volatile stock. I always tell people, if you get in this stock, you got to be okay with volatility, because this stock has, it goes up and it goes down a lot, and it could be nerve wracking. But I just say hold on to it, in my opinion. Again, not trading advice. All right. This is the Nasdaq 100 component year-to-date returns, 2025. Has so far this year in 2025, MicroStrategy is ranked number 7 at 20.26%. And as you can see, Palantir is ranked number 1, 37.29%. So we'll see how this shapes up as the year goes on in 2025. I know Palantir had just reported earnings this week, and they did pretty good. They beat earnings, and the stock has shot up. That's a very good stock too. All right, President Trump Media, they're creating these ETFs, and the main ones I just want to focus on is the True 5 Bitcoin Plus ETF and the True 5 Plus SMA. So they're creating these, and the money's gonna be flowing in there. And I just believe, President Trump, he's creating everything to where if there is a Bitcoin reserve that happens, he's gonna benefit. So just like a capitalist, which I guess you can't be upset with that. He's doing everything legally, and it's a plus for Bitcoin. So, but I believe that in 2025, I think there'll be a lot of clear regulations that will happen, and I think banks would eventually get involved, and they'll make it easier. The government would make it easier for banks to get involved with clear regulations, and I think Bitcoin would shoot up. I don't personally think there will be a Bitcoin reserve this year. If it does happen, I'm thinking it probably happen at the end of this year, but we will see. So President Trump, he wants to create a sovereign wealth fund, and this is a short clip where he explains that. I'll go ahead and play it.
Very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work. And I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices as done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
So that was a short clip of what they plan on doing with the sovereign wealth fund. The U.S. government basically wants to create their own investment account. And one of the things he wants to do possibly is buy TikTok. So if you watch the whole video, you'll hear President Trump talking about he wants to buy TikTok. It's possibly one of the investments. And the question is, will the U.S. government buy Bitcoin and other digital assets? In reality, the president can only deliver a plan to create a sovereign wealth fund, and Congress has to pass it. So, will Congress pass it? Do you think this is a good idea? I'd like to know what you think. Put it in the comments. Some states do have a sovereign wealth fund. Currently, 23 states have their own sovereign wealth fund. Some states don't have an income tax because they use their sovereign wealth fund to cover expenses. Some states, such as North Dakota, deposit their oil and gas tax into their funds on a monthly basis. The idea is the government will invest money, make money, and use it to cover expenses, finance projects, decrease taxes. So these are just some of the things you can do. Do you think it's a good idea? Put it in the comments. That's the end of our show. If you find any value, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with others. Appreciate your support. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Peace out.